coming in to you with episode 29 of Ask the Knight. And I'm going to delve into the 3 questions you've asked me, starting with Ardhamon 5000. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Question is, are you into RPGs of any kind, in close brackets, JRPGs, Western, tabletop? If so, what's your favourite of any of these 3 genres? RPGs are not really my thing. I think the closest thing I've ever been into that I've enjoyed was Sonic Adventure in 1999 and the ported release onto the Nintendo GameCube in 2003 Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. Now, it might not be your stereotypical RPG that most people would consider an RPG, but that was pretty much the closest thing to an average RPG, and I enjoy it most fully. Hope that answers your question. From the Co92, what are your thoughts on the current 3 Marvel animation TV shows, Ultimate Spider-Man, Avengers Assemble, and Hulk and the Agents of S.M.A.S.H.? The only one I've ever really seen that I can give somewhat of an opinion on is Ultimate Spider-Man, and whilst the animation is amazing, no pun intended, but the voice acting, not so much the voice acting, the script is terrible, in my honest opinion. This is not Spider-Man. This is, current internet humor being forced into something and reality show based in a way. This is not Spider-Man. The guy who voices Spidey, he's alright. He's no Josh Keaton, who's the better one, in my opinion, but the honour of being the true voice of Spider-Man, not ultimate, the true voice of Spider-Man is Christopher Daniel Barnes from 1994's Spider-Man the Animated Series that celebrates its 20th next year. Awesome animated series. The guy who voices Spidey, when he went into Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes and did a guest appearance of Spidey, he was good! I actually enjoyed his performance as Spidey in that, but in Ultimate Spider-Man, I cannot look at it and take it seriously. Avengers Assemble, I saw 10 minutes of it and I'm like, where's Earth's Mightiest Heroes? Where's Earth's Mightiest Heroes? I mean, animation-wise, it's great. I'm not gonna lie, but they took a concept that was doing so well with Earth's Mightiest Heroes, respecting its source material, put new ideas in, but done it in a way that didn't divert away from what they were doing, and then it's like, oh, but this needs to be like the movies. Like, why can't, the cartoon have, or why can't the animated series have its own distinction, its own interpretation? I understand in the comic books when they made Parker look like Tobey Maguire, kind of understandable because it's what was going on, but you don't need to change the core concept of it. And, I've not seen the whole of Avengers Assemble to merit a full opinion, but people have been telling me left, right, and centre, dude, stay the hell away from it. It's garbage. So, again, can't answer that. Agents of S.M.A.S.H., the animation looks good, and you've got Fred Tatasciore coming back as Hulk, but I'm not keen on the idea of it being like a reality show. I just feel like the best animated interpretation of Hulk was the 1996 The Incredible Hulk, the animated series, with Neil McDough as the voice of Bruce Banner. And it's a very good Bruce Banner. You could understand the plight and the, affliction he had upon him when he was unfortunately cursed with the identity of the Hulk. And you actually sympathise, you went on this journey with him. And that's the problem I find with a lot of animated shows these days. The only animated shows in recent memory that stay true to the characters' core and their concepts is the Batman and the current CG animated series Beware the Batman. Now, it took me a while to get into it, and I know Beware the Batman's not using most of the recognisable villains such as Joker, Penguin, Riddler and Catwoman, but using people like Professor Pig, which I'm like, okay. But the idea of Batman's partner being Kitana, I can go with that. So, again, haven't really merited much of an opinion to really tell you, but from what little I've seen of it, it's given me the incentive to stay all away from it. And question 3 from the Firebird. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Sonic Boom TV series so far? Well, first off, I'm glad that my boy Sonic is finally making his return to television because it's been too long. Now, if we're talking Western animation, it's been some 14 to 15 years since Sonic Underground was put together by DiC of Europe. Although we didn't get it till, in the UK, we didn't get it until 1999. And, you know, considering it's been some 20 years since Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog first showed up, there hasn't really been a Sonic animated series of consistent quality in both animation and script that's able to respect Sonic and take him seriously as a series. Now, Sonic Underground, it's not a case of, you know, people like Ben Hurst, because they had to go with the material that was given to them, because the animation had already been done and promoted in France first. So it was then their job to do the translation and do their own interpretations of it. And it should be noted, Ben Hurst hated this idea. He wanted to do a continuation of Satan, which to most people and most Sonic fans is the quintessential Sonic the Hedgehog animated series, in my honest opinion. And then of course there was Sonic X. Everyone's kind of 50-50 on this. Sonic X is one of those series, you have to take it at its core value. Animation, you know, production values and quality, it was top notch, you know, and it's what you expect of TMS Entertainment, considering some of the work they've done before, including with Batman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond, because these are the go-to guys. And Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, which was all done by TMS in terms of the animation, that was such top quality you'd think it had Hollywood money shoved into it. And with the looming potential of Sonic Boom, now they've only released a single screenshot so far, and I'm looking at it. This is just a sort of a teaser of what we can expect in 2014, and I'm guessing the reason that they're doing this is because once again they're looking to television to promote their iconic mascot, and because in 2016 it will be the Hedgehog's 25th anniversary. June 23rd, 2016, 25 years of the Hedgehog with attitude. And once again, they need to raise the profile, they need to raise the awareness, they want the audience, current audience, if, you know, hey, if there are people like me from the beginning of the 90s that watched Sonic shows back then, watched Underground, watched Sonic X, and they're going to tune in because they're such die-hard fans for this character. And, you know, they'll want to also bring in a new generation. And I'm glad that they're staying somewhat with animation, but it's going to be CG. And considering the way of the world's going, unfortunately, CG seems to be the way it's going. But I still think there is a place in modern entertainment for traditionally cel animated movies and TV shows, because there's something quite appealing, there's something quite timeless about it. I mean, yeah, they proved with Disney's The Princess and the Frog, there's still a place for this, and there's something about cel animation that makes it look a little bit richer and a little bit more inviting than CG, because the problem is CG's done to the point of exhaustion now. It's cheaper to use, I will grant, but there's that wonderful quality. I mean, CG, although great quality and cheaper, when you look at it in terms of the visual appealing ability of traditional cel, it's up there. And it has to be asked, what the heck have they done to Knuckles the Echidna? I mean, Sonic, I can sort of see they've made it look a little bit bushier with the quills. Amy's still got that cocktail dress that she probably stole off Betty Boo. Tails is as he should be with the hammer, but Knuckles the Echidna looks like he's been taking Python packs from Hulk Hogan. You know, Nux Hogan, Knuckle Mania. I'm gonna be running the Angel Island, brother. And I'm just imagining Weaver's there going, ah! It's like, no, do not want. But yeah. I can see it doing well. The biggest problem I've got with a lot of TV shows these days is when they aim the animated series demographic at a 6 to 11 thing. Now, I understand, you know, Sonic is and always will be a children's character, but at the same time, you should not be made, the producers should not be made to forget how Sonic got here in the first place. And there are still people today, my age, in late 20s, early 30s, that still appreciate the character, play the old school games for the Mega Drive Genesis if you're in the States, and still watch, Saturday, still watch Satam, and still watch Adventures of, because there's a timeless quality to it. I tend to find, if you were to watch Adventures of and Satam, and then compare it to Sonic X is completely almost insulting of the intelligence. That is one of 4Kids' biggest problems, was the fact they always remove local references. And so, you know, with it being the 6 to 11 demographic, I don't have a problem with that, as long as there's like these little wink moments for, you know, for the adults that might be watching with the kids. It's like, I see what they did there. So it's a case of wait and see. I mean, as a die-hard fan myself, I'm not going to pass any judgment until I see the finished product. But the moment, the only nitpick I would say in that picture is Nux needs to lay off the, whatever he's taking. Oh yes, leave your questions in the ending credits in the Facebook and Twitter links at the end of the ending credits. And also don't forget to subscribe to blip.tv/the MJ Knight for all your updates. Until then folks, class dismissed.